Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another edition of Live from the Vault. If my camera will stay still. So, I'm your host, Nathan Seavey, and I go around to the planning and zoning board meetings in various towns, so you don't have to, and I do a review of them briefly in video form, usually about 2 months before the official notes come out from those planning boards. We got a doozy this week. It's Beverly, Wednesday the 25th. It was a 5-hour meeting. Kudos to the folks who, the zoning board members who stuck with it. At any time they could have just asked for people to continue to the next meeting. However, they were thoughtful, they were kind the whole time. They listened to a lot of folks. One, the agenda was very long, but also there were there was a couple that were very contentious. So I'm just going to go over those briefly for you, and then I'll give you a quick housing report. So here we go. At 37 Rowell Ave, there was a special permit approved for a first floor living in addition to a constructed dwelling that's non-conforming with regard to the right yard setback. Lovely lady who needed an addition to keep living in the house. 15 Folger Avenue over in Ryleside. There was a variance to divide an existing 17,000 square foot lot into 2 lots and build another building on that second lot, and that was approved 5-0. And that's great. That's awesome. More housing. I'm always glad for more housing, especially when it can be done by homeowners in Beverly. The next one is from the Icon Architects, a special permit to authorize the construction of a subsidized elderly housing project at 40 Dunham Ridge Road. Now they needed a special permit because it's office buildings by right in that area, but this is a much needed, I fully support this much needed 55 and older community housing, 160 units with on-site parking. Now, understandably, this is one of the contentious ones because Dunham Road is essentially, along with that whole neighborhood, a dead end. There's one way in and out. Now, the city of Beverly has been planning to do what's affectionately called Phase 2, and that involves an overpass and maybe another exit, another way out of that Dunham Ridge Road area. That's been talked about for 15 years or so, and hasn't materialized yet. So many of the residents came and spoke out against it, saying that it would increase traffic quite a bit. And yeah, it would increase traffic, nobody's arguing that. There was some evidence that it would not increase it very much. That the addition of 45 cars a day, or they're estimating about 45 cars in the morning and 45 at night during the peak hours, wasn't going to make that much of a difference. You know, I'm not a traffic engineer, but I trust traffic engineers. That was approved, and I'll be honest with you, I have not seen such a good architectural plan for a building of this size in Beverly yet. They are designing to passive house standards with a total electric roof, solar panel roof. I mean, these are going to be state-of-the-art, excellent tax revenue for the city without taxing the infrastructure. It's going to create a lot of its own energy, and it's beautiful. It really is well done. I think the solution here is to get Phase 2 happening as soon as possible and get another way out of that area. I'm not sure who should do it or how, but it should happen. All right, moving on. We've got a special permit to construct a 1-story addition on the left side of a non-conforming house at 1 Harwood Street in an R15 zoning district. And that passed 5-0. Special permit to create an accessory apartment in the basement of an existing home at 290 Essex Street. passed 5-0. I love these additions of more housing units. As a real estate agent, I see all the time. I listed at a condo on Federal Street. We had over 60 people come through looking at it and ended up with 8 offers on it. That's, eight people out of the 60, 60 people needed a house, right? 8 of them took their shot at this place. I did a rental unit over in Danvers. Same thing. We had maybe 45 people go through in the week and a half, and ended up with so only about a week actually. Ended up with about 15 applications. People need a place to live. Anyway, I'm glad to hear all this stuff. There was a couple of continuances, so I won't even bother with those. 32 and 34 Swan Street. This is by right. You can do a 3-family in this area. These folks were asking for a variance to allow the re-subdivision, turn 32, 34 back into 2 lots, and build a duplex on one and a duplex on both sides. With the cost of lumber and labor and all that going up, they're asking for one additional unit to help cover costs. I think that one was continued, so I don't have an opinion about that yet. William Sheehan and John Patrick Pigsley. This one was super complicated and very, very contentious. 15 Reza Road has not made many friends up in that area. And he's asking for basically it's got to be a variance to put a 25, to put an addition on the house that would increase the total floor area, square footage area of more than 25%. So if you do that, it triggers this process. And his neighbors spoke out against him for a number of reasons. The land court was involved. I guess this has been going on for 5 years. It will be continued to be heard at the next zoning board meeting, which incidentally is June 22nd. The next planning board meeting is June 21st. I hope to do a live from the vault for each of those, hopefully right after them. Hopefully it'll go for 5 hours. And here's the promised housing report. It's somewhere here. Here we go. I'm just going to go over it very briefly. There are 18 single families on the market right now with an average list price of $2.3 million. Just kidding. There's one house, 34 Payne Ave, listed for $22 million, and that's really screwing up the averages. You take that out, actually you take everything out over $3 million, and the average single family price in Beverly is $770,000. There are 7 condos on the market for an average price of $598,000. There are 5 multifamily homes on the market with an average price of $1.2 million, and there are 5 rentals in all of Beverly, besides the Craigslist and Zillow ones, for an average price of $2,600 a month. If you need any help buying, selling, or renting in Beverly, give me a call, 617-545-4997. My specialty is listing properties that need just a little bit of work, or creatively financing folks that need to get out of a certain situation or into another one. You can also, there goes my phone, you can also send me an email at cvsellsre@gmail.com. Thanks. I'll see you at the next Live from the Vault.